I work at Hooters and my boyfriend doesn't like it. A little backstory to this first. My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 4 years. We broke up for 6 months for a lot of reasons, mostly disrespect on his part and emotional abuse. I decided to give things another try, and things have been really great since then. I worked at Hooters when we first started dating, but I eventually quit and started bartending at various bars. I worked my way through college and am set to graduate next May. It got to the point a year into our relationship where he said he didn't want to date a girl who worked at a place like that, so I stopped bartending and didn't work at Hooters again. Fast forward 3 years later, we're broken up, and I move out of his apartment. I work at Hooters again because it's an easy job and is extremely flexible with my school schedule, not to mention down the street from where I moved to. We get back together, and he says he'll support me about working there. We were talking today, and I could tell something was clearly wrong. I asked him what was wrong because I feel it's really important to communicate your feelings, and he said he didn't really want to talk about it. And I said, okay, well, I want you to be able to talk to me about everything. Long story short, he gets really upset on the phone and says he doesn't like me working at Hooters and he hates that I get off late. I start to get upset because he said he would support me, but now he's saying it's a trashy place and that he's been putting aside all of his feelings to support me, and that by him supporting me, it's really just him pretending he doesn't care about it. And that since he's starting graduate school, he doesn't want to deal with this shit, I guess me getting off work late, and that he doesn't feel that I feel the same way about it. I have already told him how I feel about it. I would rather not work at a restaurant anymore. I would rather have some cushy job working at a Kendra Scott store or something, but that doesn't pay my bills. I pay for all of my own bills, where he has a millionaire dad who pays for all of his bills. He also said that he was never going to support me 100% about it, which bothered me because I feel like you either support someone or don't. And I told him I was working there before we even got back together. And this is temporary until I graduate. The entire conversation just made me feel bad and like he just wanted me to say, okay, I'll quit and find a new job. He also said he didn't want to talk about it to begin with because it wouldn't matter. I don't know what to do, Reddit. This is putting a lot of stress on me now. TLDR, I work at Hooters. Boyfriend has been suppressing true feelings about me working there. I feel like he wants me to quit, even though he told me he would support me working there until I graduate. Update 10 days later. Well, we broke up. At first he apologized and said he would support me when I told him this was clearly a temporary job, but things came to a head again yesterday when I went to a festival for a few hours with some friends, and he doesn't like those kinds of things anymore. That basically by me going, it is a distraction for him. And also that I didn't care about his feelings because he mentioned he didn't like festivals. But I didn't really understand that by him telling me that he didn't want me going at all. And he didn't really have a reason either. He ended up bringing up the fact that I work at Hooters again, even though we clearly already talked about this a week ago and thought we came to the conclusion that I'm not going to quit my job, and he seemed to understand. So I felt like he was back to trying to control me and making me feel guilty for going to one damn concert festival. And we got into a huge fight, basically ending on me saying, unless he is going to pay for all of my bills, he has no say in where I work. Well, that didn't end well. And he just ended up saying, well, I didn't know this is how you really felt about everything. I wish I had known, because I previously stopped working at bars Hooters for him. And I was just like, okay. Then I started feeling guilty, like maybe I should stop going to those kinds of concerts and change my job. I regret even trying to work things out with him for it just end up like this a few months later, but at least I gave it another chance. TLDR. My boyfriend and I broke up because during a fight about me going to a concert for a few hours, he brought up the fact that I work at Hooters again, which just ended up in a bigger fight. Didn't end well and came to the conclusion that we are on different pages. Final update 4 months later. So it's been about 4 months since I last posted, but I thought I'd give you all an update. Here at my last update and my original post. So basically, I've been no contact with my ex since my last post. I was still in a pretty bad place emotionally and mentally 4 months ago. I had been struggling with that emotionally abusive relationship for almost 4 years, and it honestly messes with your head after a while. You get used to the shittiness for so long that it starts to become a norm. When you look at it from an outside perspective, you just want to be like, what the fuck are you doing? For anyone that is in a similar position that I was, please get support from friends, family, whoever. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you. I am now in a really healthy relationship with a guy who could give two shits whether or not I work at Hooters. Oh, and we definitely just got back from Austin City Limits, which is a festival, and had a great time thanks to not having anyone trying to make me feel guilty for going Lowell. A pretty short update, nothing too exciting, but I wanted to say thank you. Reddit. TLDR. Dumped that douche lord to the curb, went no contact, have a new boo, life is great. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.